we're staying quiet in the tropics. I was kind of describing this week's forecast as boring, but boring in the summer is a good thing, and we are not expecting any development over the next 7 days in the Atlantic Basin. Different story out on the Pacific side of Central America, where the Central American gyre, we talk about this early in the season and also later in the season as kind of a hotbed of development, and it can happen on either side of Central America. Right now, the Pacific side is more active, and in fact, they're already up to their sea storm, but their season does start May 15th, whereas ours doesn't start until June 1st. Now, some of the models had been indicating going back to last week, and it was something I'd started to mention, but didn't give it a whole lot of emphasis because it was just too far out in the forecast, that some models indicating a little surge of moisture coming from those little systems trying to move into the Gulf or maybe Bay of Campeche. Well, here is the Euro, and there's that little slug of moisture. Do you see any kind of development? No. When the models are going 10 days out trying to sniff out development, it's worth a watch. But until we get within about 5 to 7 days, I don't give it a whole lot of attention. And now as we're getting closer, as I've said, the models have kind of backed off on anything developing. And in fact, the upper pattern that'll be over us would keep any of that tropical moisture away, because we don't want to see whether it's a named system or not. We need a break from the rain, and we're going to get it as our high pressure ridge will dominate through the week and weekend. But thankfully, the upper pattern is not going to be excessively strong that we're talking record temperatures, just normal. We're supposed to be at around 90 degrees, and that's exactly where we'll be this week. Now, for the most part, we've been relatively dry today, even with this kind of southwesterly flow. That has kept us under mostly cloudy to partly sunny skies and not much in the way of rainfall. Thankfully, moisture levels are a little bit lower, but this pattern is going to be clearing out, so more sunshine is on the way for the rest of this week as well. Cloud cover kept us in the 80s. Once we're under sunny skies and the upper pattern with an upper ridge building in, that is going to start heating us up. Few showers. The upper high again is not going to be so strong that we can't see any rain. It'll just be far more limited. And what rain we do see wouldn't be the heavy downpours of what we had on Saturday. Few pop-up showers here and there over the next couple of afternoons, but generally speaking, mostly dry. And this upper pattern dominant through the weekend. So the next several days, I don't foresee much in the way of rain. Going towards Sunday, Monday of next week, the upper high does start to weaken a bit, and we'll start to open us up for a few spotty showers. But even as we start to see some rainfall return, Sunday, Monday, those rain chances are only around 20-30%. We need a long stretch here to dry out, and we're going to get it. Right now outside, though, again, we've been under mostly cloudy skies, actually helping keep our temperatures down a bit, but it is still humid, so the heat indices have been in the upper 80s, even though temperatures have been only low mid 80s. That's below average. Normal high for this time of year is 89 degrees. In the 80s on both sides of the lake, and those dew points in the 70s until we can get a cold front, which doesn't happen until maybe late September. We're going to keep the muggy air around. About 90 degrees during the day tomorrow. That is again average. Then lower 90s with maybe an isolated shower or two at best through the rest of the week. Outdoor plans heading into the weekend, I think we are just fine with only some spotty showers returning Sunday and Monday.
All right.